I'm Mary Michael Patterson. I play Meg Giry in Love Never Dies, and I'm originally from Fort Worth, Texas.
I'm Karen Mason, and I play Madame Giry in the show. I'm her mother, and I was born in New Orleans, grew up in Chicago, and live in New York.
I started in dance. I wanted to be a ballerina for many years, so I was dancing from like the age of 3, and then taking theater and being in the choir and all that stuff. So it never really was like a conscious decision. I just kind of grew up doing it, and then in high school I was like, yeah, I think I can do this, and so I went to college for it, and have been living in New York for about 10 years.
I have absolutely no dance training, so singing was my only option. And I grew up with a family that had a lot of music in it. My mother was a pianist, and so we always had music and sang around and just performed for everybody. But then when I was in high school is really when it started to kick in, because I went to an all-girls Catholic high school, and and we all know this experience. You have to find your own date for prom. And so I had to find a date, and it kind of coincided with the musical Sacred Heart, where I went, did not have a musical, but the boys' school did. So this was my way of meeting boys, was to start my career in singing, and I liked the singing so much. People responded to the singing, and I guess it was that insecure thing that I chose my career based upon people liking what I did. So I just realized I enjoyed it and liked it and loved it, and continued doing that, and moved to New York in 1970 to pursue singing in clubs and doing shows, doing theater. Barbra Streisand and Judy Garland and Frank Sinatra. My mother loved those singers, so I grew up with those great stylists and people who really, you know, the big band and then those beautiful small ballads. I mean, that was beautiful golden era, as they say, of the Great American Songbook. So I grew up listening to that, and theater was always an adjunct to that. I loved theater because I could be part of something. You know, it wasn't just singing by myself. I could be part and enjoy it with other people. It was really became a social thing for me. And I guess in theater, you know, I was always really attracted to the kind of crazy character people. And, you know, like oh shoot, I can't remember her name, but she played the original Miss Hannigan. Cheetah Rivera. I mean, those women who are just phenomenal presences and just electrify an audience. And that's kind of who I would like to be. Again, I guess I go after the dancers, and I'm not a dancer.
I think I grew up listening to a lot of cast recordings with my mom, and I was listening to singers, sopranos like Rebecca Luker and Dawn Upshaw and Audra McDonald. So a lot of kind of classic musical theater soundtracks was what I sort of grew up listening to and learning from. I mean, it changes in every city, I think, just based on where we are and the weather, you know. I mean, certainly in the last couple of weeks, I think most of us have been sort of just holed up because it's been freezing and it's not, you know, fun to kind of trudge around in it.
Yeah.
But I always, you know, get groceries, and I'm a homebody, so I like to stay home and, you know, kind of rest and take care of myself. And so yeah, I'd like to see the attractions if I can. You know, it's hard when we're in a city for 1 week, because with our schedule, sometimes it just feels like the rest needs to be priority number one. But like in Cleveland, for instance, we're here for 3 weeks, so I've been Googling things that I want to see, and, you know, hopefully the weather will be nice enough on our days off. So yeah, I mean, I think it just depends. I feel like I change a little bit in each city based on where we are.
But you do go to this grocery store. You are the fastest person.
I do go to the grocery store.
And I like to unpack, which is not necessarily normal for me, but this is my first long tour, so I'm learning along the way and gathering hints from all these people who have toured over the years. And I like to unpack and then basically become just a slug for a period of time. I know. I just want to just kind of get the groove and sleep. And this is a tough show physically for all of us, and for varying reasons. So I like to have my strength and my be as on the nose as I can for each performance. I'm not one who shirks her responsibility. I like to do my job and do it as well as I can.
I would say practice. You gotta practice. You gotta have a skill set that you can offer, but be patient. Everybody has a different trajectory and a different timeline. So some people, move to New York and it takes them 10, 15 years. Some people move to New York, it takes them 6 months. So there's no right or wrong. If you want to be doing it, you just have to want to do it enough to wait it out, I think, and be patient with yourself. So.
Yeah, it's an interesting phenomenon. I think we all grow up with that mythology of the overnight success. They're the standby and they, are the cover, and they go in and suddenly they become a huge star. And so that's what you imagine. I don't think most people would move to New York if they didn't believe that they were on that trajectory of stardom, because it's tough. But if you just keep doing it. If you love it, there will be enough there for you to satisfy your soul. Because it's about that. Keep practicing, keep learning. That's the most important thing too. Do not stop learning, because you can always learn something from people. I find that I'm learning a great deal from this cast. They're all so young and beautiful, and the age demographic goes like this with me, and they're just so young and beautiful, and I forget sometimes that passion, that drive, and it's exciting to be on. So just keep your eyes open and keep studying.